Allison, a professor from Harvard University. The role of the business community is crucial for good relations between China and the U.S., two of the world's largest economies. That has been repeatedly emphasized by all key players that I talked to over the weekend at the China Development Forum. It takes pride in getting up to speed the top global 500 companies about China every year. China is the largest market in the world for many of them. So how do they see the relationship between China and the U.S.? How is that relationship having an impact on their bottom lines? How vocal are they in encouraging the relationship going strong? I talked to Frank Mars, board member of Mars Inc. Coming to China not long after the country joined the WTO and witnessed the dramatic changes taking place here, it has given him the luxury of putting things into perspectives and remain calm when there are changes to the global supply chain. Let's listen in. Global supply chain might be changing as a result of U.S.-China next stage of trade tangle.
It might, but not necessarily for us. For example, we've been spending the last 10 years here working on developing a local supply for high oleic peanuts with the government as well. And those peanuts will be going into M&Ms this in 2019. But that's taken 10 years from scratch to get from new seed to teaching farmers best practice to developing enough volume of peanuts to be able to actually put them into products. So we try and source as much as we can from within every country we operate, and we try and build factories in all the major countries that we operate in just to avoid these issues.
Peanuts take time.
Cocoa takes longer. Tree crops are even harder. Cocoa trees, you make a decision to plant trees like cocoa. That's a 15-year decision. Yeah. For the tree crop.
I wish the politicians could have a longer vision,
as you
indicated.
It would be very nice. Yes.
As you've been working very hard on biotechnology, now there is a possibility that everything about technology, whether AI, biotechnology, or others, all being put under the category of so-called national security.
There's going to be competition between industries all the time. So long as the competition is fair, so long as the rules of playing are fair, competition is a good thing. You know, with the new foreign investment law coming into effect, I think that's going to help things dramatically, to be honest. But we've operated in China for 30 of the 40 years, successfully with great support locally. We've had our challenges here and there, but for the most part, you know, we've been supported. So it's a good place to do business. If the country's going to grow, the country's going to come back to being the world's largest economy. Very clear. You know, the history of China is it's gone through cycles, and it's coming out of another cycle, and to where it'll be the leader again. It's not something you fight. It's something that you recognize and you adapt.
Frank, many worry that we might be blocked with our eyes with geopolitics and forget many of the important issues that you just mentioned, whether it's climate change cooperation, it is about food safety and quality of life that all nations need to work on. From your point of view, do you think we might find, once again, the real direction to benefit the people?
I think if you think about the why Parliament in the UK is laid out the way it is, it's because in terms of the space between both sides, it's exactly two sword lengths, so they couldn't fight each other. It would be nice to figure out how to get all the leaders that have the issues in a room and settle things. There was somebody, I can't remember who said it, but basically if you think about war and the casualties of war, which tend to always be the soldiers and the civilians, if if, and I think it was Patton actually that did this, that said this. He was like, let's get together, him and Rommel together in a room, and battle it out between the two of them, because that's a better way to settle the issue and save the lives of everybody that should be saved in terms of things. And that's the kind of thinking that the politicians need to have relative to trade wars. Trade wars don't do anybody any good. It hurts everybody. But it's a political win. It allows people to get voted, it's an unfortunate situation we're in right now. And I'm hoping that conversations are moving forward in a positive way, and we will get back to free trade on the things that matter.
We hope reasonable minds will prevail.
Yes.
Frank Mars, what a pleasure, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.